West Virginia continues to attack. Big offensive lineman and one of the highest production running backs in the country. They're just swinging and swinging, man.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Guys, welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host, and this is Locked On West Virginia. They might not like us, but they can't outwork us. It's an 11 o'clock stream, fourth one today, and we are ready, man. I'm excited, stoked to be here. I'll do a fifth one if it needs it. Don't care, baby. Brought to you by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. That's right. No console needed. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to learn more. Pretty cool little tool they've got going there, actually. So as we learned this evening, I heard from a few different places, a couple new visitors to West Virginia to look at. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these visitors and see what kind of impact they might make were they to transfer to West Virginia, because so far as I can tell, West Virginia is both of their best offers. But in one specific case, I don't think it'll stay that way, because I'll on tape, you watch and I'll show you guys the tape. I don't know how he comes in and don't play. And I know I seem overly optimistic on a lot of our transfers, but they really know when it comes to skill, talent, and what they want. This dude is a dude. He led the division he was in yards per carry. We're talking about Canon Katzer, Bear State running back. He was also at Washington State, where he was a walk-on and transferred out. And then he was the best running back in all Division II. While Division II might scare you away, the tape won't. So I think what I'll do is we're going to break him down. We're going to talk a little bit what he does well, which is a lot, and you'll see it on tape. It's very impressive. He's like I'll tell you what he reminds me of. He's like Judah Price if Judah Price wasn't limited by a couple things, right? Like he's a high-end Judah Price. That's what he reminds me of, like a Division I kind of Judah Price that would, maybe Judah Price ends up being really great someday. I'm not saying he won't be, but that's what this guy reminds me of. And then a big offensive lineman from Austin P, which, they played Louisville this year. I went and watched the tape against Louisville, played extremely well at times against the Louisville Cards, so I can see why he's getting some looks. So they're hammering rooms, guys. They're having an offensive line. They're hammering linebackers. They're hammering wide receivers. They're hammering running backs. Obviously, this roster wasn't where they wanted it to be. I mean, it's not even like we've been told 10, 15 more guys are going to come, guys. So just get ready for change, embrace change, and let's enjoy each guy as they come or don't come. Let's break it down really quick. So Canon Katzer, running back from Ferris State, transferred in from Washington State. So he's already had the ability to play at D1 Power 4 level before this. But obviously Ferris State went 14-1, won the national championship, guys. That's always great to have a guy with a pedigree like that. He ran for 1,008 yards in 2024. He led the nation in yards per carry with 8.8 yards per carry, guys. That's insanity. That's an incredible yards per carry, man. 441 yards and 6 touchdowns in the tournament, which was going to the national championship. He rushed for 100 yards on 14 carries versus Valdosta State, and had a 30-yard touchdown reception from Trinidad Chambliss, who we had a chance at if we would have wanted, but I'm digressing. He really put the game away in the second half, opening up the second half with big run after big run. He put up to almost 200 yards in the semifinal. He's got elite speed. He's got elite vision, and he hits the hole extremely hard. He's also got wiggle, and he punishes people in the lane, guys. He's a dual threat running back. He can catch it and run it out of the backfield. Same thing as Jalen Knighton. So, he led all of the divisions, guys. FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III with basically 9 yards a carry. It's hard to do that, So he scored at least 6 rushing touchdowns in the postseason alone, which is a pretty hefty feat in and of itself. and was a part of a rushing attack that rushed for well over 2,000 yards, right? So he has had so many clutch moments this year, guys. He had a 69-yard touchdown versus Slippery Rock, a 40-yard touchdown versus Valdosta State that put games away and led to national championship. They gave the ball to him when they needed the game to be over, and he absolutely delivered every single time. He saw limited action at Washington State, but where he was a walk-on, he wasn't going to be probably getting any playing time, or he was still young when he left there. So I don't know. He played at Mountain Spokane High School, where he set the single league's rushing record and touchdowns. So it seems like this kid's been overlooked a lot of his life. He's got elite speed and explosiveness. He really does. We're going to show that to you here in just a second. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. When you see it on tape, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I see exactly why they're offering him now. He's got incredible hands, guys, out of the backfield. He's a big game performer. I think he's already been at Washington State, so the adjustment to the FBS level is going to be much smoother for a guy like this. He's going to be great for something like this. You could have him on kick return and punt return as well. So, his on exit, he says he has multiple FBS and FCS offers. So it really hasn't put a lot of them out yet, but West Virginia is definitely one of them. Keenan Cummings at Rivals put this out earlier today as well. His Pro Football Focus scores were through the roof, somewhere in the 80s this year, somewhere in the 70s this year. As a blocker, he's very, very willing. He loves to get in the way of pass rushers, guys, is really good at chipping. His long speed is probably the most important thing in his game. He gets out in the open field, it's a wrap. See you later, I'm gone. And, one of the things he does well is when he sticks his foot in the ground and goes, he's shot out of a cannon. And you don't have to be a pro scout to see it. It's on tape. Like, you can tell just by watching football players move over years and years and years, whether a guy is moving slow or fast, based on height. And, you can look at somebody's height and things like that and see, like, okay, what is he looking like relative to everybody else in the field? Like, you get an eye for it. I guess it's the best way I can put it. On the transfer meter impact scale, and some people may disagree with this, 9 out of 10 in production, obviously. He had rushing yards, he had passing yards, he almost 9 yards per carry. He's a 10 out of 10 in athleticism, guys. You'll see whenever the tape gets turned on. He absolutely flies out of the cannon. Versatility, I think he's a 9 out of 10. He excels as a runner and as a receiver. He's got multiple touchdown catches and big playability out of the backfield. He's also really good at pass blocking, which the data says he's really good at. Experience is, I've got him at a 7 out of 10. I think, obviously he played the national championship game and also at Washington State, but it's not like he's played the FBS a lot. I think he's a 9 out of 10 fit for West Virginia because of the run-heavy offense into Rich Rod, which would be a perfect for Katzer's explosiveness and versatility. I think he could start or be a high-end running back 2 for any Power 4 program. At West Virginia, that's going to be a problem. You're going to be in a rotation. That's why I don't know if we're going to get him or not, to be honest. I've got him a 44 out of 50, which is one of the high scores I've got. I think he's a high-impact transfer with immediate starter potential somewhere. May not be at West Virginia, but his elite yards per carry, postseason dominance, and dual threat skills, to me, make him a game changer. Though I don't know if he'll, do it. I don't know if he'll be able to display all that at West Virginia, but I'm going to show you the tape here because this kid was, as soon as this is the whole reason I even did the video, because I watched the tape and I was like, okay, hold on a second. We got a shot at this guy. Like my heart stopped for a second. Like, that's how good this guy is. You'll see. Hold on. I'll show you guys the tape. It's the best way to do it. And I take into account that it's Division II. I get that. But we just see Cam Ward go number 1 overall, guys. Played an incarnate Word. It just doesn't matter as much anymore. There's a lot of high-level players playing at that level now. Like the New England Patriots got a kid that played at Western Kentucky, right? That he played at Division II. We saw our guy from Shepherd. He's playing for the Bears. Like, we can go on and on and on. There's several players from Division II that play at this level. So here he is versus Slippery Rock. I think this might be the run. This kid is an absolute baller. You'll see here. Now, I have to say, in all fairness, too, Ferris State was really, really good. Obviously, they were 12-1, but the competition at Slippy Rock, I looked it up. They've had 3 guys go to Power 4 schools, so it's not like they were bumps. He's in the backfield here, and this is him with the ball. Just watch the explosiveness. Really good speed down the sidelines. He shows this play after play. He gets to the end zone in a hiccup, man. And a lot of these plays are, here's another one. I love this one in the snow. I'm gone. Can't catch me. See ya. Split, and a lot of these are exactly what West Virginia runs as well. He doesn't go down easily. There's a couple of these where it shows his vision. His vision's really good, but also his balance. He does not go down easily. As you can see, nice little cut behind the offensive lineman, and he's gone splitting safeties, which you see him do that a lot. He splits safeties like nobody's business. Guys, that's Le'Veon Bell right there. That's so freaking gorgeous what he just did. Look at him behind the line of scrimmage. Watch him dance to the hole here. So beautiful. You just don't see it a lot. So right here, this guy's about to fit a gap. But which gap is he going to fit? He's playing chess with him. Watch what he does. Gotcha. Love that. And then he's got the speed to make it to the end zone. So obviously not a huge hole, but it's a hole. The safety's about to fill it, but he's going to be too late. I love this kid's vision. I think it's his biggest asset, but it's also his explosiveness and his decisiveness that just gets him to the end zone over and over again. Look at that balance, contact balance. That's important as well. I mean, how often do you see a guy not go down from this? Nope. And I'm gone. So I don't know how we'll have room for him in the backfield if West Virginia ends up signing him, because I don't think you keep him off the field. He's also a good receiver out of the backfield. He doesn't go down easily. Like I'm super excited over this guy. I really am. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree or not. Like I said, and he catches it well out of the backfield. Look, they designed this play for him right here. Chambliss does a good job not looking his direction, obviously, which keeps the safety in the middle of the field, keeps both corners with their hips turned towards the quarterback. The last thing you want them to do is open their hips towards this running back right here. So a nice little design play for him, and I'm sure they hit him for a nice gain. Beautifully done. And there, once again, was a contact balance, not going down after contact. Here's another one. He's got a couple different options. I like this run. Love that move. There he goes again. Get off me. That was a beautiful move there. He was good in the snow, wasn't he, that day? Watch this move here. Watch him just smack this guy off of him. Get off me. I'm out of here. And then the cut to the outside. That's what I'm talking about with this elite vision he has, guys. It's really good. He's got probably, he's probably in that 4.5 to 4.4 range. And then he's also got what you really got to have at the FBS level, and that's that cut ability, right? That Tavon had, which he doesn't have that level. I'm not saying that. But what he does do well is these cuts. Like right here. Watch him cut because the referee's there too. Boom. Puts his foot in the ground. He cuts. And then he's got the speed to outrun people. I love it. I really do love this kid. Look at that move in the backfield. Pretty nice. Little stop and go. I mean, that should have been done in the backfield. And then he's outrunning people again. Another passing play where the very last second, and it seems like that's something he does well. He's got soft hands, as you can see. There he is in pass pro, I believe. Yeah, that was a two-pronged play there. So here he is in pass pro, and then he comes back out. Watch him take on the block in pass pro, and then flood out of the backfield for a reception. So he takes on this guy he was about to take on two in pass pro. Then he floods out of the field for almost like a boom, and he floods out behind him, which Chambliss was really athletic. Obviously, that doesn't happen without an athletic quarterback. But here he is making guys miss, and he just racks up yards. Whenever he gets the ball, he racks up yards. That's just what he does. I'm not exactly sure what his size is. I've seen 5'10". I've seen 5'11". He could be 5'9". I'm not exactly sure. But man, he runs with some. Look how he got skinny right there. That's what they call getting skinny. As he comes through the lane, how he gets skinny and kind of tosses himself to the side a little. Right here, there's nothing there. Right, he presses the hole and then he gets skinny to avoid this guy, which makes this an arm tackle. Boom, beautifully done. This is one of those dudes you want to have him in the red zone because he gets skinny well. He's able to cut. He's got great vision. He's going to make great decisions, guys. So obviously, very rarely do I play an entire tape of somebody, but I'm a big fan of this kid's. I wouldn't say he has absolute elite athleticism. I just think he's got in that 4.4 to 4.5 range on speed. I don't, who knows? It could be a little bit higher. And it's the vision and the cutting and all that kind of things that really impressed me the most about him. I think, where would he play in the backfield at West Virginia is a great question that I can't answer. That's the only thing I don't know. Because obviously with Knighton, with Ty now, obviously the Northern Iowa kid and Jaheim White, unless they know something we don't and somebody's transferring, like that could also, who knows, like maybe Ty Edwards is transferring or maybe Jaheim's transferring or maybe somebody else. I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to start that rumor. I'm just saying we don't know what's going on, right? So, but anyways, I think you would be an excellent ad, and I would be really excited about him being on the team if he came. He's also got quite a bit of time left ahead of him. So let's go to break. We'll come back. We'll break down this offensive lineman. That's one's going to be quick. Very much a developmental piece there, but we'll talk about it. And then I'll give you the roster breakdown of the transfers. And I've got a ranking I did. I think I did my top 8 transfers or something like that so far. Now that we've added like so many more. The last time I did one, it wasn't the same. It's not going to be the same it is now. So we'll talk about that next. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by FanDuel, guys. Right now, the NBA playoffs are almost here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel, you can place your first $5 bet and get $250 in bonus bets. That's if you win that first $5 bet. Don't miss out, guys. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 bonus and do it today. It's segment 2, and I'm pumped tonight. I'm cracking a dew and everything. It's the one from the last show. It's not even really that great, but it's fine. Whatever. So obviously, I think we need another running back anyway. 4, you at least need 4, maybe 5. So, and I don't think he would be. Obviously, they're not offering anybody they don't intend to, or have anybody visit they don't intend to sign. So I think if the kid will sign, they'll sign him. Richard wants to have 3 that are good to go. And I think that this kid would come in and be one of the 3. Absolutely that. So we'll see. We'll see. I could be totally wrong. It's not like I'm any professional or anything like that. I just like his tape a lot and have a great feeling about him. He's similar to Bogle for me, the linebacker that we just signed. He's not playing at the highest level, but man, his tape is really good. So if he can transfer, you're talking about, you've got a very good to possibly all-conference player on your hands. Donovan Hasslam will be visiting West Virginia this upcoming week as well. Austin P. offensive lineman. So, the thing that popped up on him was Mammoth, which is what I wrote in the thing because he's a big dude. They've got him listed at 6'5", 330 pounds. And he played left tackle for them. Is he a left tackle in the Big 12? No, I don't think so. He very much struggles in pass pro from what I saw. Not that he struggles. It's just that his technique is terrible. So, I mean, it'd be the same thing. If you go watch the Louisville tape, he performed extremely well in run game, but the pass game was totally different. So maybe if you play him inside at guard, you can, it's easier to pass pro at guard than it is to tackle. They had a good offense, and they had several 100-yard rushing games there. this past year. I assume it's the 6'5", 300 pounds, the arm length. He was dominant in the trenches. Like he's got really high grades in run. So I'm assuming, in a pinch, this would be a good guy to have on the roster. And you're always developing that pass protection aspect of it. It's not that he can't do it. I think it's just that, to me, from my eyes, he looks a little. He doesn't have that quickness. It's a little sluggish. It's almost like a real big guy. You ever seen a big guy try to move his feet on defense in basketball? Kind of like that, where it's like a little sluggish looking, at least to me. So, he paved the way for over 100 yards rushing against Louisville, which we know had a good defense the last couple of years there. From FCS to Power 4 is going to require improved technique, though. There's just no doubt about it. His transfer portal interest, though, you can't deny it. He's got a ton of FBS offers, so not a ton. He's got a few. So I think you can't deny that he's being looked at. And it's that frame and it's that run game that he's really good in that I think most people are looking to, like, would be something I would be interested in. On the transfer meter impact scale, production 7 out of 10. He did support a strong rushing attack there at the left tackle spot. And he had a bunch of pancakes while he's there. His athleticism, I think, is a 6 out of 10. He's a mammoth dude, but I don't think he's got elite agility or quickness. And FCS linemen, they usually need time to adjust the FBS speed too. So, I think this is a next year or the year after kind of pick if you're going to get him. Versatility, I don't have any evidence of him playing any multiple positions or inside, so that's a 6 out of 10. I think he could move inside based on, some of the schemes that they ran. I think that he could probably do it because he was doing some similar things. He was pulling a little bit. We'll see. Experience, he's played significant snaps, so I get that an 8 out of 10 at the FCS level. I think he'll be a key contributor, possibly a rotational player at the FBS level initially with starter potential down the road. And fit for us, I've got 7 out of 10. He's got an excellent run blocking ability. And so I think he'll be able to fit in really well with the Rich Rodriguez run heavy team. But at the pass pro, that's a little bit, and we are going to pass it more, I think, this time under Rich Rod than last time. So I got him at a 35 out of 50. So I think his developmental transfer with the potential to compete for a starting role in a year or two. Obviously he needs the coaching and he's got the size, absolutely, and the run blocking prowess to absolutely impact the team. So maybe group of 5 may be a little easier for him, where you're not seeing such good speed rushers every week. But, if you move him inside the guard, I could see somebody maybe, he can hide some of those deficiencies. But even then, I wouldn't want my starting lineman to be that. All right, so let's go to one more quick break, guys, since I went over on the last one. And then what we'll do is we'll do the roster breakdown. I've got everybody broken up into groups, who we picked and all that, and it's all in order. And then what we'll do is I'll have them ranked. And let me know if you guys agree or disagree after the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by Game Time, because there's nothing like the atmosphere of an NBA playoff game. Every bucket, every defensive stop, and every moment does feel huge, and it's electric in the arena, just like the Coliseum sometimes. Well, with Game Time, you can be a part of that without the stress of last-minute ticket hunting. Game Time makes it fast and easy to get playoff tickets, even when the demand is sky high. Prices on the app usually go down as tip-off gets closer, and their last-minute deals can save you up to 60%. So, if you want a last-minute deal with Game Time, save up to 60% on buying last minute for sports, concerts, theater, and more. All-in pricing means no surprise fees at checkout. What you see is what you pay. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. The terms do apply. You can read the terms. Create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDON. COLLEGE for $20 off, and download the Game Time app today and get last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, guaranteed, and ask yourself the question of questions. What time is it? It's game time. It's segment 3, and I'm still thirsty. So here's what I got here. So we talked about Haslam. We talked about how does what's the other Canon? What's his name again? Canon Katzer. So, somebody asked me, and I'll start doing this. I will start remembering this because I've thought about it the last couple episodes. People want to know how to look these guys up. Canon Katzer is Kennon Katzzer from Ferris State. Donovan Hasslam is Donovan Hasslam from Austin P. So if anybody wants to look those guys up, I've been asked to start putting their names on the screen, and I totally forgot. What are you doing, honey? And I totally forgot to do that this time. So I'm going to try to start remembering to do that for people because I do agree it would help. So let's get to this now as we talk about some of my – where did it go? There it is down here. All right, so obviously West Virginia has added a ton of transfers, guys, as my cat's driving me crazy, by the way, of course. I've got this broken down: quarterbacks, running backs, wide receiver, tight ends, offensive tackles, interior offensive linemen, defensive tackles, edge rushers, linebackers, corners, safeties, nickels, specialists. So let's start with quarterbacks. We've added Jalen Henderson, who is 6'3", 220 pounds, and Max Brown, who's also 6'3", 220, who, I don't think I need to go over what everybody did, but I did write it in. Henderson appeared in 10 games at Texas A&M and Fresno combined. His most productive time came in 2023, where he was 53 of 78 for 715 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks. He also had 104 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. So pretty productive time for him there. I just wanted to read that one. Running backs, Ty Edwards, obviously, who was just incredibly, and I think he's getting forgotten because it's been so long ago, 6'4", 230 pounds, and is a mammoth. And Jalen Knighton, who we just signed today, 2,000 career rushing yards, 17 touchdowns across SMU and Miami, burner speed, sub 4.4 speed, but was injured last year, so there is question marks there. Wide receivers, we've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wide receivers. Man Singleton, known as Oron Singleton. Gerard Bowie from Oron Singleton is from Eastern Michigan. Gerard Bowie from Jackson State. Cyrus Traw from I don't have it written down, so I'm trying to remember where everybody's from. Cyrus Traw is from Youngstown State. Cam Bonds from Jacksonville State. Jeff Weimers from Idaho State. Christian Hamilton from North Carolina. Justin Smith-Brown from South Carolina State. And Jordan McCants from Jacksonville State. So the entire Jacksonville State offensive roster. Tight ends, Jacob Barrett from Jacksonville State. Grayson Barnes, who as you guys know, I'm a big fan of Grayson Barnes now. 6'5", 225 pounds, and an absolute monster on the receiving end of the game. So where did he play? Somebody might have to remind me. I should have wrote all this. I forgot to type where they all played in. I guess it really doesn't matter now. They're on our team. Offensive tackle, we've got Wyatt Minor, who was from West Virginia. We're rooting for him. Tykees Crawford at 6'5", 324. We got Michael Clay. Still haven't gotten that figured out, from North Alabama, as a 6'5", 278. Malik Agbo, who we just signed out of Texas yesterday. And Josh Isosa, who is a rival to Texas at Oklahoma. So right now, guys, we've got an Arkansas, Texas, and Oklahoma looking offensive line if all these guys were to start together. That's an SEC offensive line if they all play up to their potential. That's pretty damn good, right? And then you're talking about, obviously, Walter Youngbear, Robbie Martin on the interior that we've also added. And I do think that Youngbear will probably, at this point, I'm not sure. I don't know if he's going to start now or not. Edge defenders are obviously and we forgot Kimo Makaniole. Forgot about him. Sorry. I just from memory remembered him just now. I guess I must have skipped over him. Braden Siders and Eddie Kelly Jr. are big pickups. I like both of them. I think they'll both play a bunch this year, especially Eddie Kelly setting the edge. I think he's great. Ashton Woods, who, if you watch some of the clips over the summer, looked really good at times, guys. I think he's going to make an impact this year. Chase Wilson, absolute top 5 of one of our people, which I'll show you here in a minute. Jamori Robinson, and Ben Bogle, all in that linebacker room. And, well, Jamori's a bandit, basically, but technically a linebacker. All three of those guys are huge additions. Huge, huge additions, guys. Love them all. Wouldn't trade them for anything. Corners, Derek Carter, Michael Coach Jr., Devontae Golden Nelson, William Davis, who, Virginia Union was first team All-Conference, first team All-American. He did a bunch of stuff there. Jason Chambers, who we've added from App State, and Nick Taylor, who I totally forgot about, to be honest. Nichols, Jordan Scruggs, who it seems like it's been forever since we added him from South Alabama, and the hard-hitting Fred Perry, who a lot of people are fans of. Jordan Walker, there's another one from UT Chattanooga. It feels like it's forever and a day ago we added him. And then the rising senior Justin Harrington, who has played at Oklahoma and Washington, who had a really big year at Oklahoma. We know that in 2023. And then Ethan Head and Kate Hensley are the two specialists that we've added. So, summary by position, we got 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs. We've added 9 wideouts, 2 tight ends, 5 offensive tackles, and 3 interior offensive linemen, 1 defensive tackle. So, who are our top 8 guys? That's a great question, isn't it? Jamori Robinson is still my number 1. I do think, and you go look on tape. I can't remember who put it out the other day, but Dylan showed it to me. I think it was who's one of the mods. It was one of the players that went in the portal that was showing his tape, and I wasn't watching him. I was watching Jamori Robinson absolutely eat the right side of the offensive line alive, play after play after play after play after play after play. Like it wasn't even competitive, y'all. It really wasn't. Like, I'm not even kidding. Jamori Robinson was absolutely dominating our offensive line on the plays and tape that I saw, and who knows if it's backup or whoever there, but I'm just saying they went out and got 8 offensive linemen. So that should tell you something, guys. We was not ready. And look who we lost, right? We lost Altuner. We lost, obviously, the starters that we thought we had coming back. We're lucky we kept Livingston, for goodness sake, and Cray. So, I mean, we lost so much on the offensive line. It's only, and that's including Wyatt Milam, who could be, I think by this all said and done, could be one of the 2 or 3 best linemen in the draft this year. So we'll see what happens there. So, I struggle with number 2 because I think there's a lot of guys that can go in that spot. But I keep coming back to Michael Coach Jr. and what people say about him and how he could truly be a first-round pick next year. I'm going to bank on that. I'm going to bank on Michael Coach Jr. doing what people have said he's going to do. You had Mike Gollett Jr. come on here and say, look, when they played Notre Dame, this dude absolutely shut down one side of the field. That gets me excited, y'all. So Michael Coach Jr., I think, is our number 2 overall guy, even though production and some other things don't necessarily say it, and some people may even forget about him a little bit. I do think by the time it's all said and done, Coach Jr. everybody's going to know his name by the end of it. Number 3 was tough for me because there's a lot of names that it's starting to get to the point to where there's a lot of good players on this board now, as to where before it's like, gosh, I don't know. Cam Vaughn has to go there, though. I mean, he's such a good player, guys. 50 catches, 800 yards, 5 touchdowns for them last year. And I think he's only gotten better. And if you look at some of the tape, he dominated some at times during camp. So, and there's not a lot of it, but when you just watch, if those clips they were putting out, if you look at like the spring game, different things, man, he looks good out there. So I don't know if the spring game I don't know if there was anything from there for him, but number 4, I've got Chase Wilson, the linebacker, obviously, 234 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 2 interceptions, guys, at Colorado State. I mean, the production is through the roof, right? And on film, he's an athletic dude. He can play outside or inside. I think he'll probably play outside for us. He's going to be a big one for us. I really think he's going to be a big one. Right beside him, moving up my list, and I told you guys this, is Ben Bogle. I love Ben Bogle, and I love his tape. I think, and maybe I'm in the minority on Bogle. I don't care. He's 6'2", 225 pounds. He's only a sophomore. He had almost 100 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks. And when you turn on the tape at Southern Illinois, he absolutely shreds people, guys. So, he was an all MVFC honorable mention with All-American honors, guys, at Illinois, Southern Illinois. So, he's got extremely high upside and a ton of eligibility left. And I think by the end of the year, we're going to know Ben Bogle's name, possibly with Jamori Robinson in that conversation. Like, I love Ben Bogle, man. I think he's going to kill it for us. And hopefully going forward, we can hang on to him. Here's where I started to struggle. I'm not going to lie. Because I think Jalen Knighton is got to be on this list after the tape I watched today. This dude is a freak show of an athlete. And you look at Miami, he's going 80. He's going 90. You look at SMU, he's going 80. He's going 90 against Power 4 competition. Couple that with the 2,000 career rushing yards, and only an injury has slowed him down. Otherwise, from that, he's been extremely productive in his career. There's no reason he can't come in and be as productive as Jaheim White. I don't think there's any reason he can't be. It's going to be a crowded room, but it's going to be a fun room to monitor, guys. I really do believe that. I really do. Will Reed probably would have been on this list. I'm a big fan of Will. You guys know that. Unfortunately, he asked out of his, and I understand why. And then obviously Ogba, I think, has to be on this list. I almost forgot about him. You're the sixth offensive lineman. I apologize to some of you guys. I thought he started, but you're the sixth offensive lineman at Texas on a team that was a top 5 team, and you would have been in line to play a lot or start again this year. That takes talent. You can't be, one of the 5 or 6 best offensive linemen for one of the best teams in the country and not impact the next team you go to. So I think he'll figure a way to start for West Virginia. Absolutely. And you gotta love Ogba, man. I think he's going to make a big impact in the offensive line room. And then, a couple honorable mention. I think Braden Siders is kind of overlooked now that some people have come in. I think Jeff Weimer is overlooked a little bit now that some people have come in. Obviously, Fred Perry is overlooked some now that some other people have come in. And William Davis has got so much production. I just don't know how it's going to translate. There was a couple times on tape where I looked and saw him get beat deep on some things. So I worry about his long speed a little bit. And then if you want to talk about somebody that could be like, watch out for him, like he's young, but I think he's got everything you need to be really good. I'm going to go Ashton Woods. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. He's got the pedigree. He was a high-end 4-star recruit at North Carolina. And he had double-digit sacks in high school, close to 200 tackles, and he's got 4 years of eligibility remaining. The only reason he's not there anymore is because he won't play this year, right? So I think at West Virginia he's going to be rotational, and if he catches on, I mean, you go watch some of he's had a couple picks that they played in clips. He looks like a stud athlete. So I think Ashton could make a big impact this year, maybe. So I don't know if it's going to be this year, though. We'll see. You guys can't tell I'm fired up, can you, at 11:30 at night? Thinking about this football team. And here's the thing. I just did a poll today, and I got to tell you guys about this before we go real quick. I'm going way over, but I love football, guys. What do you want me to say? If you don't love football, if you don't love basketball, if you don't love this school, you guys are the crazies, right? Everybody that's in here right now, you're crazy like me. It's 11:40 at night, and we're talking about West Virginia. How many people actually love their team more than us? There can't be many. We're the 1%. So if you're a 1%er like me, join my Discord. It's in the chat there. They knew about Jalen Knight before you did. They knew about a lot of things before, well, I can't say for sure. I don't know who's watching, but, like I was privileged enough to and here's the crazy thing. I think I told this story earlier and I'm getting off track again, but Jalen, I was the only person that he told about the commitment to West Virginia that was media. I guess media. I don't really consider myself media, but I guess I'm a form of it. And then the national guys released the news earlier today, and he was not happy about it. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to think I did this, But obviously, why would I do that? Obviously, if I was going to release it, I would have done it. So he saw that. But I was supposed to have him on tonight, and unfortunately, and maybe if somebody in here knows a graphic designer, I've been trying to get a commitment picture made for him all day. He has specifications, so don't just make one and send it to me. But if somebody in here knows how to do that, I'll pay you. I'll pay you, or he'll pay you, or something. We'll figure something out. But I'll do it. I'll pay you because that's the deal we made. So if somebody wants to get a hold of me on X or on here or wherever, you can holler at one of my mods or me. And I need a commitment photo done for Jalen Knighton so that we can get that thing posted for him. It's got to be really good. He's already shut a couple down, so he's kind of picky, but I understand. And the thing here is, guys, is you can say, I heard a couple people say, well, he's already transferred twice before. That don't matter. It's still his decision when it comes out. Should be, right? He should have been able to say that. He should have been able to release that. You know how many people came at me whenever I released the Xavier Bosley thing? I said this earlier too, but whenever I said Bosley committed, even though Bosley gave me permission to release that, everybody and their mom said, that's bad etiquette. You're supposed to let the player announce it. I said, oh, I didn't know. I was still learning. And then here we are today, and the national guys are trying to run and beat each other to the punch on something I had for 24 hours. It's just aggravating. Like I could have put that out the day before then. But more so, I was upset for Jalen because it should have been his to put out, which is what we were trying to do. But whatever. All right, guys, that's it for today. I know the dude's kicking in now. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm hyped. I can't. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm hyped. It's football. It's basketball. I love the Mountaineers. If you have love for the Mountaineers, hit the like button. If you have love for the Mountaineers, subscribe. If you have love for the Mountaineers, drop a comment below. If you have love for the Mountaineers, share and put copy and paste the link up top or hit the copy button on the link and share this in Facebook or on X or something like that and send it to me. Say, hey, Paul, I actually did this. It make me feel good about it. Because we're trying to beat the competition, or at least I am. There's only a couple reasons that I'm up this late doing this. Number one is because I love doing it, but I also want to win. And there are people that do this too that are trying to beat me, and I'm not letting it happen. If I got to record 1 million times a day, I will. So competitive like that. I know some of you can relate to that as well. All right, guys, I'm going to roll. Do need to get some sleep probably at some point. So let's hope we get some more commitments tomorrow. If not, I'll come up with something to talk about. I'm sure we'll have some kind of cool topic. Oh, I remember what I was going to say really quick. You won't believe, if you go watch my video, it's only 10 minutes long from earlier, guys, where the basketball team, I said, I can't believe that the basketball team is more popular than the football team is right now. In the comments, that's being proven true yet again. I'd say over half the comments, and there's like 60 now, maybe 70, all say they like basketball more than football now, at least for this year. That shocked me. Are we not a football school anymore? Go over there and find out. Go over on that video and tell me what you think. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We talk about your team every single day. If you can do me a big favor, though, go to the Portal Report guys over on YouTube. They do an excellent job over there. What's his name again? Oh, yeah. Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings so you can be the most informed fan on the rapid changes in the college football landscape. Find the Portal Report on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. I had to take a big, deep breath for that one, like running out of breath here. All right, y'all. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.